Oh, that is not me. Okay. It looks like me.
You look like you right now.
Yeah. My cousin just like shares every Snapchat thing he posts. Which is like 8 years ago.
I hear your chat.
Oh.
Talk to the people.
Hello. Hello, people. I don't know what you're saying if you're saying anything because Cam didn't get me my chat. It's mid morning, all right? Every time. What up, Break Nation?
What up, Nation?
It's big news today.
Big news today.
We got big news today.
Let's do our best to not spend too long talking about the big news today. Lest we lose all of our viewers. Seek lest. Oh, man. Ooh, boy. I am having a day.
I am ready for bed.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Like, I'm always tired, right? That's my secret. Thank you, Bear. Seek lest. I've been watching. Maury Calliope has been playing Dark Souls 2, so Bear Seek lest is in the forefront of my brain. True. What a banger, that video game.
I see. I never played Dark Souls 2.
Good, it sucks.
I've only played
terrible.
I've played a Dark Souls remastered.
Yeah.
I've played
It's banger.
Elden Ring. I've played the first 2 hours of Sekiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hated that game.
And I've played the first 2 hours of Bloodborne.
That's tough. That game gets really good 30 hours in.
Yeah. No, my 10-10 game is 9-10. Don't hate on Dark Souls 2.
Listen, man. That game sucks, and you have to accept it. That game does suck.
I don't know, man.
I remember playing the network test of Dark Souls 2 at 3 a.m. They put out an area of the game like a couple of months before the game came out. We were so excited. I was there with Rob Blocker. I don't know if you know Rob Blocker.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Not a fan.
I don't know the man. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sending this to him.
My brain doesn't work. I don't even know the guy.
We went down to the P chop, got an entire rotisserie chicken, and we're just eating the rotisserie chicken, playing the Dark Souls 2 network test. And it sucked. That game, it sucked.
I love the P chops. R.I.P. P chops.
Rest in P chop. Anyways, today I'm just like, usually I'm tired. That's my secret cap, right? But like, I feel like physically strange today. I don't know. Hard to move my body. Maybe I'm just old.
Hey, welcome to 30.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
It's just happening a little bit sooner.
I'm just very tired. I think I'm hungry, so we're going to have to figure out what we're eating. Wants an invite to your rotisserie Dark Souls 2 party. Sounds good. We can recreate the... Listen, the most important part of the recipe is that it's like a really bad rotisserie chicken from a grocery store.
Yeah, it has to be really awful bagged rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, it's dry.
It has to be 3 a.m. and you can do whatever you want. The world is your oyster at that point.
Yeah, sounds good. We can have a party. We can do a double date. You know, me and Steve, obviously. Yeah. Sounds great. But yeah, I'm tired. I think I'm just hungry. I'm thinking about rotisserie chicken now.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a Baldur's Gate 3 a lot because I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. That's currently what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking I wish I had someone to play Baldur's Gate 3 with that would carry me through the early game so I can do the broken wizard build I want to do.
Nice.
Which is I'm going to be a non-existent character for all of Act 1 and most of Act 2.
Great.
But once I get to the second
baby.
Once I get there,
crazy.
it goes hard. But None of my friends want to do that.
That's reasonable. It sounds like just a chore.
So there's a bunch of like one-of scrolls you can get through quests, and wizards can learn them. So they're not one-ofs anymore. And one of them is super broken, and I just want to like do that. But then I have to play a wizard, and wizards kind of suck. It's like play Gale. No thanks, I'd rather die.
I don't know what any of that means. I'm sure he's hot.
Not the one I would choose.
I was telling Steve I had a nightmare today. I woke up in a panic when my alarm went off because I was playing Magic and somebody had just cast a Wrath of God. And it was awful. And I woke up.
Poro, my current character in my playthrough is a min-max monk, so I understand. I love monk.
So, we have, I don't know, like a couple of things to talk about today. We have one non sequitur to talk about today.
It's very important, though.
It is optionally important. And that's about it. Talk about Christ Church a little bit. You guys get to hear Steve and I's
hot take.
Liquid magma hot take about Christ Church tomorrow. It is so hot that you guys are going to burn yourselves through the
I don't think you guys are
screen.
ready to so we got the inside scoop on the meta deck, and you guys will never believe it.
Yeah, so you know
you guys are gonna think we're capping when we tell you. It's surely not the case.
As journalists, as we are, right? Steve and I try to remain unbiased, and when any people tell us information about their, sweet meta decks they're bringing to a tournament, we keep that very close to the chest. Don't even, tell our team, right? Because that would be unfair. But today we're breaking it wide open. We know what everybody's playing.
Yeah, everyone's playing it, and you know what? Good on them. This champion has gotten no
support.
No support in the last few sets. They haven't really done anything since they came out, I think.
I have a whole paragraph to read, actually.
That's so funny.
That'll be later on the show.
Yeah. In the show proper, not in our pre-show ramblings.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about Christ Church and a couple of announcements to make and a couple of things to talk about, and that's it. And then one thing, world news to talk about. But don't worry, we don't care about politics. I mean, we do, but I don't like talking about it. It just makes me angry.
Well,
not politics.
It's not well, it's kind of politics.
It is future world politics.
Yeah.
Interspecies politics, if you will.
Not interworld.
You're right. No. The definition of that word, throw it out. Think of something else. So yeah, that's
you guys like Pacific Rim.
I love Pacific Rim, to be fair. Pacific Rim goes so hard.
I agree. Except for the anime. I think the anime was pretty shit. But
All right.
Let's
Get a couple of calories in me, But chat, this is very important. We need you to start stewing, because I'm so hungry. So you get the whole show. We're telling you up front to decide what we eat for lunch, because I'm starving, and I'm gonna just eat Steven's butt if we don't get some lunch.
Don't decide.
All right. Speaking of Steven's butt, let's do the show.
Yeah. But first, I want to shout out just a local hero of ours, Superhuman.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, that's true. He has T-shirts
and a movie coming out.
Arisana won the Yeti tournament. Yeah, I heard. So I got a cryptic tweet. So if you could tell me the answer, that would be great. I got a cryptic tweet from one Tyler Once in Love, who assumingly was streaming Yeti, and it was like a snipping tool of fragmented Arisana 1, Arisana 2. I didn't even the color was not there, but it's fragmented Arisana 1, Arisana 2. And he was like let's play a game. I have a question. Is this a real Arisana deck or some like cursed meme shit? And the answer that I gave him, I was like, well, if you're playing Arisana 1 and 2, like assuredly you're an Arisana deck unless you're like doing some cursed innervate down from Arisana 2 nonsense. And he told me to try again, and I did not try again. So, I don't know. Is it just like a fragmented Ari deck? Because that deck's good. I played it. Robo played it. Is it something way more cursed? I don't know. Who was piloting it?
Right. I don't know. I have not looked at the Yetis. I've been too busy.
Steve's too busy working on his diplomatic abilities for
our important news.
Yeah, for the important news forthcoming. So yeah, I don't know. If somebody finds that list, let me know if it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that Ari won. Congratulations to Arisana. But I think that deck's good, so you won't find any shock from me.
I think that is good since Polaris got printed.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think it's good since 3 Visits got printed.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, that one's it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah. Cards Giga broken. It was frag, water, burst asunder, stratagem, self-mill stuff. Less exciting.
I'm excited because I think that stuff's sick.
Just like do that anywhere.
I really want to burst asunder, but
I wonder why they were playing Ari.
My testing was really bad with it.
Yeah. Weird. I wonder why they were playing Ari. I don't know. Water herbs, I guess, is like a card that you could play.
Yeah. Was it Matt?
You play Aquavitae?
Was it Matt playing it?
Yeah, maybe. Matt playing a webcam.
Because like that's similar to what he was doing.
Oh, Polar Depths, right? Yeah, that's true. Polar Depths is cleric class bonus. Yeah, we have a local that plays that deck very similar to that. And I think that deck's good too. It's very good into Arisana. So if you're worried about playing against Arisana, the water Arisana deck is very good into the traditional Arisana deck. All right, you ready to go, Steven? Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. We're full of energy. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Steve Gluman. Hello, Steven Gluman.
Hello, Cameron.
Hello. I didn't biff the intro that time.
Yeah, I like it when you biff the intro, though.
Yeah, it's got to be natural. I can't choose to biff the intro. Can't choose. You know?
It has to just be you being you.
Yeah, it's You ever say a word or you write a word
and it doesn't look
and
right.
You do it so many times that it doesn't look right? That's what happens. Is like I repeat it in my head and then I'm like, all right, it's time to do the intro, and then it just comes out wrong. I'm like, what did you do, brain?
I do that all the time. Do you ever just like have to like you're typing out an email or something and then you have to like stop, like copy, and then go to Google and paste and to make sure you spelled it right?
Oh, all the time.
I do it all the time. I'm like, why am I like this?
Yeah, all the time. And it's always like stupid words that are, like way too easy to know how to spell them. It's not like a 3-4 syllable word. It's like pour. I'm like, is there two O's in this?
Is it
P-O-R? As I'm telling people
mine
is pour a lot.
Mine is definitely. That is the word that I always fuck up.
True.
I couldn't tell you how to spell that word.
Definitely.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you how to spell that word off the top of my head.
What we could tell you is that we're a Grand Archive TCG podcast. We are happy to be here. We have a couple of things to talk about. So, Steve, I guess before we get to that, we have a couple of Grand Archive things to talk about, and we also have Ascent Christchurch. Woo woo! Congratulations to all those people that love Christ and love church. That is this weekend. And we will be talking about
and we won't be there.
We won't be there. We're going to talk a little bit about what we think that event's going to look like. Do you want to talk about that other thing first? Do you want to do it?
Yeah, we should just get it out of the way.
All right. So,
it's some breaking world news.
I got into the car, right, and we're not going to get political here on Lineage Break, but just know that we live in America and we're from Massachusetts. So the political climate is not all that fun right now. So I haven't really been looking at the news. And so I get in the car. This is not about politics, by the way. I get into the car with Steven this morning. And Steven's like, did you hear the news? I'm like, no, I haven't been watching the news because it's just depressing. And Steven told me that we've had, unrelated to any sort of cataclysmic events here in America, a world-changing discovery made in the past 48 hours.
Yeah. For 48 hours, nonstop.
Right.
Aliens are real, and they come from our oceans. These clips are all over the internet.
Yeah.
Please go look it up. Go watch the live stream of Congress talking about it, because it is cringe and it is fucking hilarious. The last clip I watched was a senator asking a retired general or something if they had communicated with these beings in any way.
And just like every time they bury the lead, they're like, well, you see, the word
like,
communication.
Yeah, what is the word communication, really? Like, we communicate with a Russian plane when it flies into our territory by sending out 2 F-16s.
Yeah, it's like, that's communication.
That's communication, so it's around the same thing. But yeah, no, if you want a good laugh, just type up aliens are from the ocean and you will find hours of comedy.
But so ultimately nothing that we do matters, right? Because now we have to contend with our alien brethren that live in the ocean. Yeah. Can somebody get me the definition of the word alien? I believe they cannot indeed be aliens if they're from the ocean. But so they crash in the ocean? Do they live in the ocean? I haven't
watched enough of it, but from my understanding, they found vessels
60 years ago.
No. That was a different story. They found vessels in the ocean, in a bunch of oceans all over the world, and every government is in an arms race to reverse engineer said weapons, and
it's gonna be really funny when all this is actually true.
Yeah, and we're just memeing on it.
We're just memeing on it, and then we just get nuked by the alien laser beam.
And it was just like, actually, Pacific Rim is a documentary.
I'd be sick, to be fair.
Yeah,
I'm joining up if I get to pilot the Big Mac.
I've said for the last 20 years that the first country that had big giant mechs,
I'm moving there.
I'd join up. Yeah, put my brain in the robot, dude.
But yeah, so we have so little to talk about this week that we decided.
Yeah, it was a fun little alien talk. Mm-hmm. But honestly, you should look them up.
And you should be scared.
It's hilarious.
They are.
Speaking of Alien, I watched Romulus.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Dude, it's so good.
That was all right.
I actually really like Romulus.
I thought it was better than the other 2 that we got recently.
The only thing that I dislike about Alien Romulus, spoilers, if you are here for the Grand Archive podcast and you want to not be spoiled about Alien Romulus,
which came
skip ahead 2 minutes or I don't know, mute me. I didn't like the ending. The weird like humanoid thing.
Yeah.
Just they were doing so well.
Yeah.
It was just an alien movie, and then they play the fucking stupid Prometheus theme, and the humanoid engineer looking motherfucker comes out. I'm like, what? No, stop it. We were so close.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, So anyways, sorry. Quick aside about Alien Romulus. I love that shit. So, what were we talking about? We're Grand Archive podcast. Yeah. You guys like Grand Archive? That's what we're
here for it now. Yeah. We had a little bit of news, right? Some stuff.
Well, the first thing that I want to talk about in now the show proper. If you've been here, you can assume that the show just started 5 seconds ago, regardless of the intro. Our dear friend Trevor, who plays here at the store, very close friend of ours, has just released a new spoiler website for Grand Archive. We're very proud of him.
Woo!
It's called Proxius Codex, so you can go to proxiuscodex.com for all of your Grand Archive spoiler needs, as the previous spoiler site has unfortunately been shut down, as Rav is taking a step away from the game. So our dear friend Trevor wanted to make a site anyways. He'd been talking about doing it for like other things, and
Right.
so now there's that sort of hole in the community for a spoiler website. So Trevor is taking that charge. So go support him. He has lots of grandiose plans for that website. I know it is not just going to be,
Spoilers.
mythic spoiler, right?
Right.
Like it will be. You can go and look at the spoilers, but he has a lot of other things that he's trying to work on. He's very passionate, very hardworking. So go check out Proxius Codex. Obviously, right now, not a whole lot in the way of spoilers, but hopefully in the not so distant future, we'll have some cool things up on the website for you to look at. So go
Who
support our
knows?
boy.
Maybe Sunday.
Who knows? Maybe Sunday. Oh well.
Christchurch.
Church. Okay. What else we got, Steven?
What else we got? We got Omnidex rewards being
True.
delegated to regional stores to help alleviate some of the stress on Weeb's team.
Yeah, an email went out this week about Omnidex rewards. So traditionally, or I guess maybe that's the wrong word for it, but in the past, Weebs has done all of the fulfillment for Omnidex rewards themselves for like ALC. And it's easy for us that are in America and very U.S.-centric is the usual American attitude to be like, why is it that hard? You just send out stuff in the mail. But obviously there is a real global reach for Grand Archive, and there's a lot of people that play this game that are not from the U.S. And so if these 8 people in Texas are holistically dealing with all of the mailing that has to be done globally, it does take a while, and we saw that with ALC. There was some growing pains, and so they have announced that the Omnidex rewards are going to be done sort of locally. So if you are from North America, they're still being done in-house by Weebs, but they are partnering with a couple of partners that you're probably familiar with if you're from those regions that are usually the big like tournament organizers like Fable, and I think Game Geek is doing it.
It's Let's Play for Australia, Geek Culture for New Zealand, Fable for Korea, Japan, Philippines, Hong Kong, Taiwan.
So be patient. We are still working on Omnidex fulfillment. I think they said in that announcement if you don't get your rewards by December 10th to send an email. So give it another month. I know that some people are waiting. Even some people in the U.S. here, we have some locals that are waiting. But I think mostly that's because they're stupid and like didn't put their phone numbers. They're like, where's my package?
Right.
But yeah, it's good to, I don't think that it was, in my mind, particularly like a sore topic, but maybe that's just because like we're in our own bubble and we've already received our rewards. But it's always good to be transparent. I'm always a big fan of when Weebs is very transparent and it's like, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is how long it's going to take, and if it doesn't happen by this date, send us an email, which you would not get from some other companies that send me packages without tracking, and then when I say it didn't show up, they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So that's cool. In other transparency news, Santa Clara has had its prize pool increased. This has become sort of a the norm.
Right.
It feels like that all of these events start at 10K, and then as they get more attendance, they jump up to $15,000. So there will be $15,000 in the Santa Clara prize pool. But I think what is maybe more shocking about this event that I don't think that we talked about last week, but maybe we touched on it. I think it was about a week ago, maybe a few days ago, Silidar made a tweet that at the time, and it's been some time since then, this was before this announcement as well, there was 330 Steel participants.
That's so wild. There's so many.
And that's like a month before the event, which is crazy. I'm like a little bit worried. I was talking with some of our locals this week that I believe it's at 385. I think that's the number that you're supposed to run a 10th round of Swiss. And so I'm really curious what will happen in Santa Clara. Maybe there's not even that many tickets. Like maybe it's capped out at like 370 or whatever. But I think it's 385 that you're supposed to run 10 rounds of Swiss. So I wonder if they hit over that 385, if they might have to
change their formatting.
Yeah, consider changing their tournament format, because we see this for like a lot of other larger games. Don't run tournaments the way that GA does. GA is the only one that I've ever played where they do all of their Swiss rounds on day 1, and then they do a hard cut to top 32, where a lot of other games will do like 8 rounds of Swiss on day 1, same tournament, 8 rounds or 4 or 5 rounds the next day. And it's a little bit more like open, I guess, which makes it, I assume, easier to run a larger bracket, because you don't have to worry about cutting to exactly 32 people.
Right.
So yeah, I'm curious if we get more than the big number, if they'll make a change. Maybe we'll just do 10 rounds of Swiss on day 1. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll cut to top 64. Lots of things to consider. But I think at 330, I think it is pre-registration the biggest ascent that we've ever had, which I think is a first for that as well. Yeah. Usually it's like, oh, this one looks pretty big, and then at the event there's, people that like show up day of or buy their ticket that week or whatever that are like planning to go but haven't bought a ticket yet. But I think like right now, regardless of any of those people, it's going to be huge. Yeah. So big, and that's just steel too. It's a silver event as well. So there will be a real amount of only silver gamers there.
Yep, it is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In other Ascent news, we have a plethora of artists that are appearing at, art is appearing at Ascent, but they will not be. And that is both for Ascent Santa Clara and for Ascent Christchurch. I'm just assuming this is traveling issues.
Yeah, I mentioned this in Merlin's a little bit. And I didn't get the same reaction that I think that I have about the topic, so I think it is worth talking about. So there's going to be these artist exclusive playmats, the ones that you're used to that have like the artist stamp on them. And sort of similar to Worlds, where Jubei couldn't make it. They were planning to make it, but they couldn't make it. Visas are weird.
Right.
We had the Jubei mat at Worlds, but Jubei themselves wasn't there, right? And so this seems to be not, in this case, it's not like a whoopsies, the artist couldn't make it. This is like consciously planned that we're going to have the UD mat in Santa Clara. We're going to have Sao Sao and Xiao Chao. Sao Sao and Xiao Chao at Christchurch. That's Dai Dai and Fang, I believe, being the artists.
Real upset I won't be getting one of those Sao Sao mats.
If you guys are going to Christchurch and want to get a Sao Sao mat for Steven, let us know. So they're sending the mats, and you can buy these artist mats at the event, but the artists will not be there. And my like sort of take on it is I think a little bit more tempered. I mean, we are known sycophants, so maybe that's why. But with an Ascent every month, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that you know, but people that don't traditionally come from a trading card game background, and even current day trading card games, to me, it is like a really big deal when there's an artist in person at an event. And usually for bigger games, it's like held for large scale events like nationals or worlds or whatever. For other games are the ones that get artists to come out, but like your normal GP or calling or whatever you want to call it usually doesn't get that sort of treatment. And so I wonder if it is like a scheduling conflict or a monetary reason or what have you, that it's just like a little bit easier for them to send these cool mats, which gives you like a reason to come get the exclusive merch from Ascent Santa Clara or whatever, without having to fly out an artist and worry about that artist's time. And I don't know. But that's not the reaction that I got from people when I posted about it in like general or whatever.
What were they? It was just like mild, like.
Well, like more so like hoping that this is not the new norm, and that we do still get artists at these Ascents, which of course, like I would hope that as well. I just don't know if that's
feasible.
Feasible,
right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's literally every month.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? Like, there's an Ascent literally every month, and the game isn't, I think, quite big enough that we have this huge dearth of artists, right? Like, if you look at, like, A and B, I think there's, like, maybe
15.
20, 30 maybe artists that do art for the game. And so when you're talking about exactly 30 people,
Right.
it's a little bit harder to get them, in some combination
Right.
to fly out to an event every 30 days across the world. And a lot of them, I would say the majority of them, are from SEA. And so if
Right.
obviously a lot of the events are sort of North America centric because that's where the game is from, but it's way harder to fly those artists out, to North America.
Right.
So good and bad. The mats are sweet. Like, I can't wait to get the UD mat in Santa Clara. I am jealous of those that have access to the Sao Sao and the Xiao Chao mat in Christchurch. So we'll see. I guess it'll be like kind of telling in March when we get Seattle. If maybe this was just like a scheduling conflict for this section of the Ascent schedule, or like if in Seattle we get this as well, we can sort of assume that this is the new norm.
Right.
Once we get a little bit more of a precedent set. But like, obviously I assume when Worlds comes around in June, we will have a bunch of artists in-house. And it does sort of make that feel a little bit more special too, I think.
Right.
But of course, when we went to Toronto, it was great to have Ghoul and Hanshu there, and like I was thrilled to be able to get art done by them. So
Right.
I'm not like, keep those artists away from me. Like, I wish there was artists at every event, and I'll lose all my money.
Cam, honestly, they should keep the artists away from Cam, so
That's
he
true.
actually has money in his wallet.
That's true. I like supporting the artists. But yeah, how do you guys feel? Let us know. Are you guys upset? Are you guys gonna baby rage and quit the game because there's not an artist at every event that you go to? I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that just brings us up to tomorrow.
Woo woo!
Christchurch, Ascend Christchurch will be happening. And we do have the deck for everyone to play. It is you won't ever believe it. Cam?
Yeah, I we did this spiel before the show, but I'll do it again now, just for you, the viewer. So Steve and I, right, our journalistic integrity, right? We are content for you first,
Right.
and gamers second, right? And so we do hear some things, and we have some friends in the community, right? And so I would say that it is not infrequent that we know what some of the people at the event are going to be playing because they trust us and our journalistic integrity.
Right.
And so we try to keep that very close to the chest. Like anytime somebody tells me or Steve or whatever what they're playing for an event, we try not to tell anybody. We don't even tell our own team, right? Because that would be unfair. However, for Ascent Christchurch, it's too little, too late, and we're whistle blowing the whole thing,
And it's ubiquitous.
It's ubiquitous.
Everyone is playing the same
every
deck.
single person in the tournament is playing the same deck, and
Oh, it's next weekend? Are we just dumb?
is it next weekend?
Cam told me this morning it was today.
I thought it was this weekend. Is it next weekend? Anyways, same diff. I saw people flying out this week, so I assumed it was tomorrow. Y'all stupid.
Yeah, usually.
Hey, dude, listen. You're cutting me off in the middle of my spiel, right?
But anyways, we're going to blow the whistle anyways.
Yeah,
and
on Christchurch.
now
next
you
week.
know. Now everyone will know.
This was meant for the audience that sees the show next week. Chat, okay? Comes out on Friday before the event next week. Jesus.
Oh, look at all those Gwendolyn's in your backpack.
Anyways, everyone's going to play Merlin,
Yeah.
we think.
Yeah, everyone's going to be playing Wind Merlin, particularly Diana into Merlin, because that deck is stupid.
Yeah, so jokes aside, Steve and I wanted to talk a little bit about the metagame for the upcoming Christchurch, because we got like a little bit last time, right? Where we were preparing for Toronto, and Steve and I were playing in Toronto, so it was a little bit different. For this one, we have a sort of outsider's perspective, right? But like obviously the Toronto meta was super cursed. So, like, I feel like we haven't seen anyone play with Mortal Ambition at all because the meta for Toronto was so unbelievably cursed that it was, like, not a good barometer for what AMB is going to look like.
Yeah.
And so I think it is worth talking about what we think Christchurch is going to look like because it is, for at least all intents and purposes, I think the first Mortal Ambition ascent. With Vanitas now basically unplayable, I think. I think that deck still exists, sure, but I think it is pretty bad, and I don't think that there's a whole lot of merit to playing Vanitas in a world where A, obviously 3 visits has been errated, but B, Nullifying Mirror is like really punishing for that deck that does solely rely on Veiling Breeze repeatedly to keep them alive. So. So, you know, what does the game look like with Vanitas gone? And we're positive people here on the show. But I don't particularly have positive things to say about what the perceived metagame is going to be. You know, we've had this sort of issue, like this real issue, that any time, and I mean literally any time, that there is not a sort of best deck, right, where the metagame has not solidified into some sort of new boogeyman deck. For a while it was, you know, Vanitas, obviously. Slimes last season was the boogeyman deck. Tristan before the Slimes advent, before she got Korhazi Outlook banned. Before that, it's Luxem Xander, right? Whenever one of these decks is not on top, the de facto choice to be on top is Merlin.
Right.
And something that I found just like so infuriating is the advent of this North Merlin deck. Have you seen this, Steven?
Yep.
Yeah. That goes to Kongming level 1, gets her Shifting Currents to go north, mostly for Harmonious Mantra, but I think also sometimes for Solar Pinnacle if you're playing red. And then levels into Merlin. And it is just like, to me, so severely disappointing that this really, really cool mage got printed. And I think Kongming's text and her flavor and her playstyle is all like super interesting and skill testing. And there's no reason that you should play her because you should just play Merlin instead.
Right.
Which just like feels so turbo bad.
Right. Because why would you maybe draw a card every other turn when you could just draw a card every other turn?
And like the part for me that like feels the worst is that Kongming's ceiling is way higher.
Right.
And the things that you can do with that deck are insane. But they require effort and like planning, and you have to think. And Merlin doesn't require you to do any of those things, right? Just number tick up, I play Ghost of Pendragon, whatever, I draw 15 cards, game's over. And so hopefully we're wrong, right? There's always that chance that we don't know what the hell we're talking about, but I would expect to see a lot of Merlin this season. Maybe Wind, maybe Fire, whatever.
Well, they don't even need to play Fire anymore, right? They just played the Wind deck, and then they play Imperial Seal.
Right.
I've died many a times to the Wind Merlin deck that just goes, well, I have 30 cards in my hand now. I'll pop Imperial Seal and Fireball you 4 times.
Right.
It's like, okay. Neato.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that sort of that Diana deck that Caven had played at at like a Yeti a couple of weeks before Toronto.
Right. That deck just draws like 40 cards.
Yeah, it's very shades of FTC Merlins is what that deck feels like, where we were playing this whole like disorienting winds package to flicker your own Ghost of Pendragon. The only difference between FTC Merlin and this current Merlin iteration is obviously Sword of Avarice is banned, but the sort of like gameplay loop is the same, except now that deck has the access to play Imperial Seal for Fireball and has an actual win con where the FTC like Wind Merlin deck didn't really have a way to kill you other than beat you down with Horse 1,000 times.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spend like too much time dooming, but I think it does feel pretty bad that it seems like the way that the game is right now is that we either need this like turbo broken meta deck to sort of like shape a metagame. And I'm a Slimes defender. You guys know that I've been a Slimes defender for a long time. And so we haven't really been in like a Merlin meta in a little bit, which feels pretty good.
Right.
I just really hate that the floor is always there, right?
Right. What it's really disheartening to me is like you were saying earlier, like you print a brand new mage and she's super cool and she has all these cool things she can do with it, and instead of anyone being innovating with that, they just say, I'm going to take the one good bit from this and I'm going to play Merlin again, and it just works, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
It
does feel bad.
It's like at what point are we actually going to have a meta where like Merlin isn't like the viable choice?
I think it's tough, right? Like
I honestly think Crux is okay.
Right. But
when you introduce it on Merlin, it's just not okay, because it just pushes it just that much further past. Like, like Lorraine is fine. She's fun. She does what she wants. She makes swords.
Right.
But like with Merlin, it doesn't matter. Like nothing you do matters against a Merlin player. You put them to 27 and you will die.
Yeah, it's I think it's a really interesting puzzle, I guess, for the development team. Like I understand why Merlin exists, because before Merlin, right? Control decks were pretty bad.
Right.
It was a very aggro-centric game at the beginning of Dawn of Ashes, and I guess like Merlin's not really a typical control deck, but she is that sort of like go tall advanced element deck, right? That wants to take the game late and take over the game with her advanced element stuff, which is like I think the cool part about Grand Archive.
Right.
I'm not particularly like a big aggro player, and so I think that having that play style is cool. The issue that I have, right, is that Merlin does gatekeep a lot of the advanced element decks from playing any like gameplay style that is similar to hers. She sort of locks them all out of that. Right. So like you see decks like Exia Jin, I think is a really cool deck. Of course we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but like Luxem Xander has his own identity. Umbra Diana, like you can build these like very niche heroes and advanced element pools to sort of give them something that they can do that Merlin can't. I think even now, like Arisana, because of the printing of Polaris, has a reason to play Ari that is not Merlin, right? Because Polaris is a thing that only Arisana can do, even though Ari's like level 3 game plan ultimately is pretty similar to Merlin's, right? But the problem is when you print anybody that is similar to that, like I want to generate card advantage in the late game, they just get outclassed by Merlin because her floor is so high. And so like I feel like that's what happened with Kongming, is Kongming's pool like really wants you to generate card advantage and take over the late game. But she does it worse than Merlin, because Merlin gets to play Ghost of Pendragon and gets to not work for her additional levels, right? Whereas like it is really hard for Kongming to fireball you for like 8. She has to like really work to do that, whereas Merlin waits 4 turns and then she's just like, oh look, this instant speed card in my hand kills you. So it might just be a mage issue,
right?
We do see a lot of crossover for other classes getting to do their own thing, but as a spell enjoyer, I like mage, I like cleric, and those are the classes that Merlin sort of preys upon, like pushing them out of the format. So like I said, I was really disheartened to see this like North Merlin thing just be like the way that people are playing Kongming. And I can't even like blame them, right? Like I don't think that it is worse than playing Kongming. I think it is probably a better decision to leverage Harmonious Mantra being an absurd card. And again, unfortunately, Harmonious Mantra is a better card in Merlin than it is in its intended place, right? So, yeah, I don't know. We could be wrong, right? We're sort of we're in the dark to a certain extent. Obviously, we play locals and we hear things. And we hear people talk about decks that they're thinking about or like contenders for the meta, right? But like we could ultimately be wrong, and maybe there is a secret hidden deck. I think maybe if you had asked us 8 months ago, if Luxemzander was going to be the best deck in the format that Luxemzander was the best deck in, I might not have seen it. I might have just assumed that you should play Merlin, right? But just sharing our grievances. Let's ban level 3 Merlin.
Right. I think that would be best for the game because like we're sitting here like a year later from its printing, and we're still like bemoaning Merlin.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like, I want champions to be good, and I don't want Merlin players, people that like enjoy Merlin, to like feel bad. I'm not trying to like target people, right? And you want your champions to be good, and you want them to be long lasting. I mean, that's ideal, right? Especially if you're somebody that's like really into playing Merlin, and you like bought all your CSRs, and you're like a big Merlin fan, and you just really like her character or whatever. I don't want your deck to get banned, and so like it feels bad. I don't think that they'll ever really ban a champion. I think that is like a pretty tough line in the sand to draw, right? It makes the whole game feel a little bit scarier, where you like invest a bunch of money into these cool scribbly versions of your champion, and then they just decide to ban it. But I do think that there is some problematic design there. And I've said it on the show, and I think you have as well, that I really hope when they revisit Crux, which will be probably sooner rather than later, that they take that opportunity to maybe shape Merlin a little bit. Maybe it requires Merlin to be errata, and maybe it requires some cards to be removed from her pool. I know a lot of people just say to like ban Fireball or whatever would like maybe fix some of the Merlin issue, but then we get into this same problem with this like Wind Merlin deck, right? That's just going to draw 30 cards and not have Fireball, but still give you this miserable gameplay experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see at Christchurch next week, I guess.
I can't believe
what people play. But I do think in sort of an untested format, she does stand above the rest.
Yeah.
There are a couple of cool decks that have emerged out of AMB. I want to give a huge shout out to Killy and his Exia Jin deck, which had a great showing in Toronto, which, Godspeed, that format was so incredibly cursed. So for all intents and purposes, I think that Killy got second place at that tournament, if you don't count Vanita Sticks, which is quite impressive. So there are things to explore with AMB. I think the Warrior decks are the most interesting, because I think, unfortunately, it seems like the Mage pool, at least right now, is sort of being monopolized by Merlin. But we can also hope that with Abyssal Heaven coming out, Jesus, that one took me a minute. With Abyssal Heaven coming out, which will be giving us more Terra support, that some of that Terra support maybe crosses back over into Kongming, and maybe with Kongming getting a little bit more support in an element that Merlin is not allowed to play, there will be some merit to playing her over the Crux villain.
Right.
But we will see. Something to note, this weekend we do have Yeti Regionals, I believe, is literally tomorrow. Maybe I'm wrong on that one too, but I think Yeti is literally tomorrow. And so maybe we'll see see a little bit of a taste of the metagame at Yeti Regionals as well. Yeti Regionals is Sunday. Thanks, Noel. Noel is the paragraph that I had to read as well. Now that he's here, I can I can read that for you. This is why it came up in my mind that we decided to talk about it today.
Invitational is tomorrow.
True. So 2 big tournaments this weekend. So a wise man once said, and this is Noel. So anybody that wants to know why they won't do anything about Merlin is because there's staunch Merlin defenders in the Noel from Chess Club. So if you ever have any problems with Merlin, make sure you take it up with Noel from Chess Club. That's Noel from Chess Club. Just making that very clear. Merlin was a serious design mistake when compared to more recent abilities like Kongming Level 2 and Prima Materia. While Merlin draws a card every other turn, the other two draw every turn, and Prima does damage on top of that, which is really encroaching on Merlin's current identity. Merlin seriously needs an errata to be brought back up to par, something like drawing a card with every level counter instead of every other. And in order to maintain her control-focused identity, rather than the damage rush, Merlin's level 2 effect should be updated to be inherited. By wording Merlin level 3 to trigger on gaining a level counter, this would bring in some much-needed synergy between the level 2 and 3 champion cards, something that is currently severely lacking. I hope that with these design updates, we will see this all-time favorite GA champion return to a playable status and compete in the current metagame. So that's as opposed to that Noel made yesterday. So yeah. It's time to leave.
It's lunchtime, guys. Sorry. Boy.
So if you're worried about Merlin's place in the metagame, don't worry. She's bad and needs to be buffed.
Oh, God.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, so...
oh, boy.
We'll see in Christchurch next week what shakes out, but I'm a little... seems a little weak. I'm a little worried about... our favorite boogeyman villain.
Yeah.
At least she's doing her job. Right?
Yeah, she's playing the heel.
She is truly villainous,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that is noteworthy.
Right.
So that is all that we have this week. Thankfully, we do have a couple of tournaments, like we mentioned, to talk about on next week's episode. We do have the Lux Map Invitational, which to my
excuse me.
To my understanding, the Lux Map Invitational is there was a open, the Luxaris Map Open, that happened maybe like 3 months ago. I think I did coverage for it.
I think you did too.
Can't remember. And the top 8 of that event got an invite to this tournament, and then the other 8, I believe, are Ascent winners. So it's a pretty stacked tournament tomorrow. I don't know what the prize support looks like, so I don't know if everybody's going to be like holistically memeing, especially our Ascent winners that are playing tomorrow might be holding some secret sauce for Christchurch the following week. I'm not sure. But we'll see how that shakes out, and then we have the Yeti Regionals on Sunday as well. So we'll have 2 big tournaments to talk about next week, maybe get a shade of what the AMB meta is going to look like ahead of Christchurch, and then I think Christchurch will have a huge bearing on what Santa Clara looks like, which is just a couple of weeks after that. God, I have to sneeze.
Then sneeze.
No.
Just not at me.
I won't. So, sorry it was a bit of a short episode today, guys, but thank you for watching. Hopefully you didn't mind us complaining too much about how broken Crux is.
Yeah. Just Merlin. Clark is fine.
Yeah, Crux is fine. Yeah, true. A Spirit Blade Ghost Strike is a banger card, and we won't hear any differently.
I'm a big fan of Dispersion, actually.
I'm not. Fuck that card. Stupid. All right. Hey, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop 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 whoop. Like a train, Steven.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop. I don't know what we're doing.
Maybe Star Rail
Hey
Express
guys.
guy.
Yeah, that's true. Hey Noel.
Hi everyone. Yeah, we'll probably read any paragraph that's sent to us.
Yeah. My opinion is that Sylvie is the best champion. Here's why: cutest, nicest looking, seems like a good friend and confidant. That's great. I agree. Thank you, Theo wife, whose name we don't have. That's great. It's very, very nice of you. Yeah, I like Sylvie too. I'm a Sylvie defender, bro. I have always been a Slimes defender, and you guys know that. And
yeah.
I get clowned for it.
I defend Slime. I think Baby Gray deserves to be banned, though.
Yeah,
especially because it's being put into everything now. I think that is a toxic play pattern.
Yeah, I agree with what they said about it being too splashable. I don't have a problem with Baby Gray in Slime.
Ghost of Pendragon's $70 now. I'm down bad.
No, I just sold mine last week.
I did too. I sold mine for $40.
Yeah, that's not super surprising though. I mean, Yep, card's good, and I assume there will be a lot of Merlin players in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
But I don't know. I understand where the the hard place that the dev team is put in.
Yeah.
And we like this, like, Crux is fine a joke, right? Like, it's fun. But I understand that it's much harder for them to, like, actually enact a plan to fix that issue, where it's not like the forefront issue for the game, right? Like, a new set comes out, and, like, there are new best decks that we have to worry about, and new things that maybe have to be considered to be banned, and, like, they're more worried about, like, what does Chalice of Blood look like with Jhin, which is, like, I think totally reasonable, than they are worried about, is Merlin too good? Because, like, Merlin is, like, usually not the best deck. She's just like she's like a gatekeeper, a floor deck, which, like, feels bad, but she's never, like, problematically broken, except for an FTC when they did do something about it. She's just, like, a feels bad deck overall, right? But it's hard to, like, I think about, like, the KCI ban, right? And how long it took them to ban KCI, because KCI wasn't too good.
No.
It was just a miserable play experience. Right. And so after a while, they were like, all right, we're gonna take care of this, and you can read that article. Anybody that plays Magic, they're like, it's not because it's too good, it's because we don't like the play experience that it provides. So, same thing just recently happened with Flesh and Blood, where they made all of those bannings of the tomes. Anybody who follows Flesh and Blood, all of the cards in Flesh and Blood that draw additional cards got banned, and they were like, this is not because we think they're too powerful, it's because they are against the design philosophy of what we want the game to look like in the future. And that's, like, a really hard decision to make.
Right.
And I don't even know if Grand Archive's, like, large enough or if the pool is deep enough to make that sort of decision.
Right.
So she might just be a growing pain that we're stuck with.
And I agree. I don't think splashable engines are awful. I just think that making an engine that you need to play, every deck is playing the exact same 10 cards for the draw potential, I think is problematic.
Yeah. Deck is strong. It gets rolled by slimes. Like she's never been. I think aside from FTC, I don't think Merlin's ever been the best deck. And so that's why it's so hard to think about her as any sort of contender for bans, right? Because, like, think about if you are the Merlin player, right? And I know there's plenty of people that, like, play Merlin that are not, like, hyper competitive Grand Archive players, right? And so it feels really bad for those people if you see them come out with, like, yeah, we don't like Merlin, so we're going to ban this card because people don't like her.
Right.
It feels really bad for those people that are like, I just play Merlin at my locals, and I really like drawing extra cards, and Ghost of Pendragon is cool. So, yeah, I rock in a hard place, right? But, yeah. But I think Slime's fine. I don't really have any problem with it. Slimes feels like a counterable deck to me.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with Slimes. It does feel bad when you, like, skirt the Storm Slime and then they top deck it.
Yeah, it's
and
like draw good.
Storm Slime.
Like everybody else does that too,
right?
Like there's a million Storm Slimes in the game. Everybody that wants Storm Slime banned is like,
right.
There's 1,000 other of those, like, game-ending cards. It is very rare in Grand Archive, which, like, kind of sucks, but it's very rare in Grand Archive that you get a, like, a deck that wants to actually kill you with attrition. It's, like, basically just Luxemsander, but, like, even Luxemsander 16s you. It's like, all right, I've done the attrition thing for a while. Here's 16 damage to your head. Like, there's a lot of burst potential in Grand Archive, so, like, Storm Slime is just any of those cards. It's a Lightweaver's Assault, or it's a Fireball, or it's a Ghost of Pendragon, or whatever. Whatever these, like, I drew too many of these cards, so I win the game. Storm Slime just, like, happens to literally kill you. But I think it's a lot easier to counter a Slimes deck than it is to counter a Merlin deck. Where, like, Merlin sometimes loses to aggro. That's her, like, theoretical weakness. And so, like, Slimes is good into her because it's like a more mid-rangey, higher power aggro deck that, like, it's not like Firezander, where if you're playing Wind Merlin against Firezander and you just, like, play, say, Veiling Breeze pretty well, you'll win that game, right? And, like, you will lose the real amount of those games. I can't say that that's a good matchup for, like, Wind Merlin, right? But it's winnable, Where Slimes is a little bit higher on that Totem, where it is still an aggressive deck, but it does have more powerful cards than something like Firezander has access to.
Right.
Yeah. What are we even talking about? I don't know.
We're just kind of complaining. Yeah, we're just ranty today.
We're ranty today.
It's probably because we're hangry. Yeah,
I'm a little hangry today.
You just want to do like plum or something? Yeah, maybe go for like a burger.
Yeah, okay. The errata floodgates are open now. All we hear is just change X to... Yeah, I don't think erratas are good.
No, I've never been in the opinion of erratas are good. I think that changing a card to be as intended or returning a card to being where it should have been originally is fine.
I think it's like super contextual, right? Where like 3 visits I think is the perfect example, and that's why they did it.
Right.
Anecdotally, almost exclusively anybody who is not like super in the know, even people that like travel to Ascents with us, right? But local players all assumed that is how 3 visits worked.
Right.
And almost exclusively every person I had to tell or someone else had to tell the first time, no, you can cast 3 visits without resting your champion. It is not a cost, because that's how the card is worded. Everyone was like, oh, I didn't think it worked like that.
Right.
And so like the errata for 3 visits doesn't really hurt the new player experience, because the new player assumingly opens 3 visits and thinks that it works the way that 3 visits now works.
Right.
I do have a problem with erratas that are actually functional. So like you read the card and it does something, and the errata says this does something else. That I think is problematic.
Yeah.
So hopefully we stay away from that. With the exclusion of Stone Scale Bambies, it's not a real card, so they just printed a new version. But yeah, I do think functional erratas of cards that exist.
I'm looking at you, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Really bad.
Konami.
I saw that that Altered, a new game, Altered, just put one out this week. A like very functional errata, which I hate.
Yeah.
I think that sucks. And that game at least has like that like weird you can print these cards thing going on, so like you will get to replace your cards, which is nice. But I do think literal functional erratas feel really bad. Yeah, that one. Erratas are tough, so don't worry, Theo. We're on your side. I won't jump on the we should errata things. We should just ban Merlin. That's
just
where
ban Merlin.
That's where I'm at. No, I don't think that's the right answer either.
No.
Sad. I don't know what the right answer is.
Print better cards than other elements.
Print more cards with Arisana bonus, but that is like actually my my take. Not Arisana bonus, but like print other reasons for like my biggest I'm sad that you did this. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Is that any single card that has shifting currents text on it should be Kongming bonus. I think 100%. It is like insanely upsetting that to me that North Merlin exists. That feels like super bad to me. So, and like I understand that you want to give support to existing champions, right? Like I would be stupid if I assumed that the Mage Warrior set came out and Merlin didn't get support,
right?
Because she is a dual class Mage Warrior, right? But like she did get support. Like you get to play your Mnemonic Charms, and you get to play your Indolent Leisures, and you get to play all of these cards that are like generic Mage cards that were printed for generic weaken resistance, like whatever. These cards that are very obviously printed to go into the Mage pool. I don't think that she should be able to touch the shifting currents Kongming cards. That I find really disappointing. But whatever. I do think Merlin was a huge design mistake. Yeah, we just read that. We get you, Nick. I get it. It's right here. She's underpowered. I agree. But yeah. So now that I'm okay being upset about how cool Kongming is. I'm chomping at the bit to see what Astra cards they print in ALC Alter. Ooh. I hope we see soon. I would assume... Oh, we didn't even talk about it. Shit! I guess Chi-Chi's next week, so we can talk about Chi-Chi next week. But I wanted to talk about what we think they're going to talk about at Chi-Chi.
Oh. Yeah, we hinted at it, but we're also dumb, so it's fine.
It's a really weird time for Christchurch. Where it's like, I'm not saying that New Zealand is a second-class citizen, right? But, like, 2 weeks after Christchurch is Santa Clara. And it's not because it's Santa Clara, but they have announced that they're doing the holiday stream at Santa Clara. So, like, you have to assume they're saving big announcements for the holiday stream.
Right.
So, like, what big announcements are you going to get at Christchurch if they're assumingly doing big announcements in 2 weeks?
Maybe we get ALC altar stuff?
But, like, I assume we're going to get that in the holiday stream. So,
But
I don't know. Maybe we get more?
Well, maybe in the holiday stream we get more HVN stuff and maybe set name for set 6?
I don't think that I'm not supposed to say that. I'm pretty sure. Hold. I'm not canceled. I'm not canceled. You're canceled. I'm pretty sure that it says that in the article and people just can't read. I'm pretty sure it says that in the article and people just can't read. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Did you just cancel yourself?
I'm pretty sure. Ascent is headed to Santa Clara to close out 2024 as our last Weebs of the Shore hosted premiere event of the year. Join us at the Santa Clara Convention Center for 2 days of amazing Grand Archive TCG fun. And for this one, we're pulling out all toys. Strange. And bring to you what we believe will be our biggest event yet. Not only will this event feature both Path of Steel and Path of Silver, we'll also be bringing back the cosplay contest and a special live version of the developer holiday stream. Thank God.
Okay.
I'm not canceled. We don't know who's casting Santa Clara. That has not been announced. There we go. All right. Whew. Not canceled. Woo. Not canceled.
I'm hungry though.
Yeah, I could eat.
So
You want to eat?
Yeah, I want to eat. I did not get breakfast this
Noel,
morning.
I'm gonna need you to not win the event. In Santa Clara. Sorry, man. It's going to be like that. But so that we can draft in Santa Clara. Because those were your words. But you're going to be like too busy top 8ing or whatever. And then like, what am I supposed to do? You know? Starve and entertain me. That's fair. Safe for now. Yeah, who got lunch last week?
I think it's me to buy.
We can do it right now. We don't have to leave our beautiful people. You know, we can
guess.
hang out and order our food.
I
We've already
suppose.
figured it out. It's only 1:15, Steve. The people want to be entertained. They like us yelling. We're yellers.
That's all we've done today. My voice is tired.
I like yelling, bro. I'll drop day 2. I'll make it so we can draft easy. What I'm curious about is, like, when this happened at, Houston? I was really hoping that Sealed. It was Sealed at Houston, I think. Oh, no. It was First Ed drafts at Worlds. I was really hoping that they would be, like, fire on demand. Because I want to, like, draft at, like, 9 p.m., Like, all right, all the rounds are over for the day. Let's, have fun, have a beer, and do a draft. That's what I want to do. So I don't know. Or maybe developers. If you can let us, wink, wink, buy some of those draft packs, wink, wink, so we can draft, wink, wink, after the event, that would be cool. So I definitely don't want to miss it. I really, really like Limited. I was a huge Magic draft guy. So I really, really hope that Limited is good, because I would kill a man of your choice for, like, Ascent Limited. It'd be so cool. Yeah, that too, Poro. You bring Cube. I want a Cube so bad. I love Cube. Is it good? And is that there's no way that that's a dev secret, right? So if the Cube is good and you can send me a Cube list, that would be great. I would love to make the Cube, because I love Cuban. We used to at our old LGS, we used to do we had a friend who had the vintage Cube built, and we would play the vintage Cube probably like 3 or 4 times a week. Did a lot of Cube drafting at our old LGS. And so, I want to. What'd you get, Stevie?
You got a burger.
You got a boyga? Got a little boyga?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I ordered at that place that replaced the sandwich company yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I've ordered from them a couple of times because they're on DoorDash now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. And they're like sandwiches are fine, and so I like ordered a sandwich, and it was cool. I ordered a salad as well because like they're weird in that DoorDash, right? You have to spend $12 to have the like fees waived if you're on premium, and like all of their sandwiches are $11. And I was like, this is cursed. I don't want to have to pay delivery fees. So I was like, oh, let's like get a salad. I'll eat it later. And it was a $9 salad. It was like very affordable. It's like this big, all like, fresh cut because it's a, like single person that works there. It's really good. So if you're looking for a good salad, sponsor of the show, Jenny's Place, Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Yeah. I ate there one time.
Went kind of crazy.
And I just didn't care for it. I got an Italian or something.
Yeah, their sandwiches are like fine. They're not nearly as good as they used to be when I was a small boy. When I was a small boy, my father. Sorry. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just gonna hit the same thing that I always hit. Do I want a spinach wrap? I could go for a spinach wrap. Do I want waffle fries? Of course I do. Oh. Nice. What the fuck? Why is there 2 banana peppers buttons? I do want those, though. All right. Thank you. What I miss? Reading? God, you guys type so much. That was like 4 seconds. I'm still balancing it. Cards you would think would be the best cards ain't. That's what I'm saying. I'm stupid as fuck. I can't balance anything. I'll send you my spirit for the cube. It's pretty funny. Your spirit for the cube? Cube spirit, I see. Sent by Poro. Giga spirit. So cursed. On enter, draw 7 cards. Inherited effect. Fire, water, and wind elements are enabled for you. Inherited effect, champion level 1 plus all classes are enabled. Champion level 2 plus all names are enabled. Champion level 3 plus all advanced elements are enabled for you. So yeah, you just play whatever. That's good. I think that is Giga Spirit is pretty good. Side events open on Friday. That would be nice. I'm there all day Friday. I don't know what they're doing on Friday though. I agree. Day before testing is cursed. I think that is a opinion that not a lot of people hold. Like whenever I go to a tournament and people are like, you want to jam games the day before? I'm like, no, I don't. If I play tomorrow. I know what my deck does if I've prepared well enough. But we have certain maniacs such as owner, proprietor, article writer of Proxius Codex, Trevor, always builds his deck the night before. So he loves the day before testing. I think the best card in the cube so far has been Seaside Ringleader. That card is cursed, though. It's like really good, especially if all colors and classes are enabled for you. That card is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be open Friday. Testing Vanitas Mirror in Crown's room. Yeah, like, especially when it's a mirror, right? The mirror is so hard if you don't know other people's deck lists. Because, like, everybody was playing Vanitas at that tournament, but every team had a, like, slightly different list. And so if you're just, like, testing the mirror into your own list, it's like, I don't even think that helpful. Did make some last-minute changes to my Ari Sana list just yesterday. Ari's good, man. Represent. Oh, Rex hadn't played the mirror yet. That's glad he got the testing. That does seem a little bit important. Think we have to make the horse self-enable level 2+? What horse? Who? Have to make the horse self-enable. Like Zhu Yang or Dilu or whatever? Like if level 2+, they enable themselves? Oh, yeah. Sure. True. Is Delu even that good? I guess he is pretty good. Level 2+? If Delu was level 2+, would that card be good? Probably not. I mean, I guess it's good now, so. Asen wins the mirror. Yeah, it seems reasonable. That deck's so cursed. I'm glad it's gone. I didn't have to play against it once. Did I mention that on the show? I don't know if I did. Not even one time did I play against the Vanitas deck. Like, obviously played against it a bunch before the event, but at the event, both events, played against 0 Vanitas decks. What a thrill. We love it. Didn't have to suffer. I mean, sure. The deck is fun to play. I mean, just like casting spells and all of your cards replacing itself is fun, right? It's like playing Storm. Like, playing Storm is fun. But the reason why I don't play Storm at locals is because it's miserable for my opponent, right? And, like, obviously that wasn't locals, but it is miserable for your opponent. 2, round 1 and 3. Good for you, man. And by that, I mean not good for you.
I only played 1.
Yeah, and it was a good one. I hear.
Yeah, it was all right.
Nah,
that guy's all right.
That guy's okay, I guess.
I think his Omnidex number is 1.
Yeah. He must be really lucky. He must have like hit the button as soon as Omnidex IDs were up. Yeah, I don't even remember his name.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
It was weird though. So a bunch of people just sitting next to him talking to him was
so strange. Yeah. Very odd. Yeah, dude. I'll see you there. Yes, sir. Cube. I'm telling you, man. People used to just do that. They would chant Cube at the Wiz. It would be like Friday, like 8 o'clock, and people would just start walking around the store chanting Cube until you got 8 people chanting Cube, and then you would Cube. Cube. I miss the Cube.
You know? Let's Phil Lorraine to bring his.
Yeah, but he won't, because he's a big old baby. Guy's buying a bunch of Moxes. You hear that?
I don't know. Talk to Phil Lorraine.
You don't talk to Phil Lorraine? I talked to Phil Lorraine. There was a few. I didn't see him. Cube. That'd be sick. Wait, Poro. I tell people all the time about the infinite combo. Please tell me that the infinite combo is in the cube. Please tell me. I tell people all the time about the fucking Fire-Blooded Oath Assassin infinite combo. It's not? You're a menace. Splinter Twin was fine. Give me the infinite combo. It's so sick.
It's not. It's so much worse. It's so much worse.
Well, in Cube, it's free. It's Shade, Blood, Coating, and 1,000 Refractions is an infinite combo. But to do it in Constructed, you have to D-level like 4 times. But it's really funny. But in Cube, it's so sick. It's just Splinter Twin. Come on, Splinter Twin's fine. Hey, Tin.
Splinter Twin is never fine.
It is cursed. It is fine, though. 100% fine. Splinter Twin was before my time. Oh, my sweet summer child. That was the best Magic's ever been. So back in my day, don't get me started. Not doing that.
Splinter Twin was not. It was
the
never.
Best Magic has ever been.
Literally no.
That format was so based. Jund, Splinter Twin, Birthing Pod. So good.
All of those decks are banned.
Yeah.
Or they were.
That's what I'm saying.
Cards from all of those decks were on the ban list.
Sorry. Let's walk back. Jund, Splinter Twin, Birthing Pod, Amulet. That's my format right there. Summer Bloom, Amulet.
That's fine. Amulet was fine.
That format was so good, and then they ruined it.
Was it Bloodbraid Elf? Birthing Pod?
Bloodbraid Elf was not legal.
Oh, okay.
They unbanned it later. It was pre-banned.
I thought that was prior to the initial ban.
Yeah, Twin got banned, or a Pod got banned first, then Twin got banned, then Summer Splim got banned. Or maybe it was Summer Splim first.
My first modern deck was Lantern Control.
That's fucked.
And then you want to know what I sold Lantern Control for?
Mill.
Gift Storm.
Oh, Gift Storm's sick.
I love Gift Storm. That deck
Twin
was
was totally fine. Hey, man. That's my played Magic guy.
Actually, no. I lied. I sold to Tom, actually.
Yeah.
All of my Lantern stuff and built Eldrazi Tron. And then I built Gift Storm.
You can't ever come at me and tell me that things should be banned when you're like, I'm a Lantern and a Tron player.
Eldrazi Tron is different than Tron.
You're right. It's worse.
No, it is not.
More toxic.
It is not. The deck is.
You know they named a whole fucking season after that deck?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I played it
Yeah, okay.
after. I played it after.
Yeah, okay.
I did not.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get to play with Eldrazi,
Yeah, okay.
whatever, Temple or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah, okay. I was watching my favorite human on this earth, Andrea Mangucci, this week, was playing a new Birthing Pod deck because they printed a like weird, shitty Birthing Pod in Modern Horizons 3. And that deck's so sick. I love Pod. It goes so crazy.
I love Mill.
Anyway. Yeah, I know you do. What happened? What did I miss? What are you doing? I'll put it in, I guess. Oh, yeah. Nice. Woo! Yeah. Fuck yeah. Splinter Twin. Listen, all I'm saying
is never let Cam get it.
as a Vintage Cube enjoyer, you should never get Splinter Twin. It's a 2-card combo. So, like, anytime you're drafting, you just take those cards. And so you should never have the combo. And so it should be balanced.
Unless you open both of them.
Yeah, you get lucky, and then you win the draft, and it's sick. All right? Yeah, whatever. You know, that's fine. And you still lose to mono red aggro, because you have to go to level 3 and have a materialize at level 3.
Yeah,
You'll still die to the burn deck. It's
fair.
fine. Dies the Song of Frost.
Sometimes
as well.
you just get Kiki-Jiki and Restoration Angel. I
Yeah,
guess.
dude, and it's really slow. Like, you don't have any way to turbo them out. You're just like, end of your turn for Resto. I'll play a Kiki-Jiki. And yeah, you deserve to win that game, all right? Because you should be dead on turn 4 to Blazing Throw. Merlin Winter. Noel, were you were there in Houston, right? You guys were all playing back then, right?
That was Merlin Winter. It's like Sword
Surely
of
you
Avarice.
guys were there, right? Pickle top-hated that event, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember anything. It's like wild thinking about Houston in hindsight because like it feels like such a blur. Because Steve and I got so hideously drunk, but like because I didn't know anybody. So like Steve and I were just like sort of hiding out by ourselves and be like, ooh. We like met Roger. Like that's about it.
Yeah, we met Roger.
Talked to Sil for 5 minutes.
We talked to Lime.
Talked to Lime. But we knew those dummies already.
Yeah.
Lime and Gaz, we had them on the show. But like I didn't know literally anyone else. So it was really weird.
I still feel like that sometimes.
No, you know everybody. You know all these people.
I know these people. Yeah.
Those are people at our events, you know. Our Houston list was sick. Were you guys playing Merlin?
Slay the King.
You were on the Slay the King version. Yeah. I did see the Slay the Kings running around. I was like, oh shit, that's sick.
I wish I just didn't play Merlin. I also wish I didn't get hideously drunk the night before.
Yeah, I wish I played something fun instead. It was a really eye-opening experience, and so and then I fucked it up again. Like a couple of seasons after that, I played. I think it was at Jersey Regionals, like 2 seasons ago. I played Erupting, and I was like, "Why do I do this to myself? It's like such a bad idea." So now I just like play the deck that I like, and sometimes it goes well, and I have fun. You know, and that's okay. It'd be cool if she was like a little bit better, but Day 2's nice though. Get that sweet Tide Diviner.
It was Tide Diviner, yeah.
That card sucks.
That card was sick. Tide Diviner good again?
No way.
Kong Ming? No. Definitely not.
No, because so like Kong Ming, right?
Yeah, it's a power.
Yeah, it doesn't get levels for free. It's pretty good in Merlin though. All I'm saying, thank God Merlin's not a cleric. She's not coming for my fucking cleric cards. I can give up my secondary class and just hand it over to Merlin. Fine, take it. She's not coming for my cleric cards, and that's all that matters. Dao Chan's the truth, for sure. She's gonna go crazy. Turn to DOA. Oh, stop it. Stop that. No. No, please. Don't do it. She should die. Merlin, I mean.
She did, I think.
Yeah, who knows?
Unclear.
She's
Lore unclear.
Probably dead. You guys see Peaceful Union? It goes crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Belle, can you write more lore for Cambria so we know what happened?
No, I'm good. How about we just move on? Fuck it. Who cares? You know, I'm good. I'm really excited for set.
Set 12 goes crazy.
Yeah, set 12 goes crazy. You have an appointment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we do need more lore, but like Cambria, who cares? I'm really excited for when Belle gets to be truly unleashed, and like we have a world that doesn't have any source material. I'm very excited for when like we get the next thing that is like Azoth, that is just like completely Grand Archive build, and there is no source material to pull from.
Yeah, can we like just like, you know, can't wait for the amount of edge that comes out.
I know, right? It's gonna be so edgy.
She's like,
you think it's Mirror World? I think it's Mirror World, the one that they talk about in the because the first one's very clearly Sangua, right?
Yeah.
So like, why talk about Mirror World if it's not the next world, right?
Yeah. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll find out soon.
And we get all sorts of heartless equivalents. You think Belle's a Kingdom Hearts fan?
Of course, Belle's a Kingdom Hearts fan. Are you kidding me?
Somebody asked Belle. I'll add her on Twitter. Like, hey, do you like Kingdom Hearts? Just checking.
Surely.
Yeah. Yeah. You get your shadow clones or whatever.
Yeah, and your key daggers or something.
Yeah. Universes Beyond. Arthur the King. Nimue, but good.
These things actually sound appealing to me.
Could explore demons with the cult of the summoned Rye. Lore. Demon Rye coming soon. You heard it here first.
You did hear it here first.
Demon Rye is going to be the CUR.
Villain. We talked
Demigod,
about that 2 weeks ago.
Demon Rye is the CUR in Abyssal Heaven. You can quote us on that.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably let go. Yeah. Did you order food? The food will be here soon, surely.
It got picked up.
Got picked up.
I think.
All right.
Yeah, they're waiting.
We're gonna skedaddle. I'm making trivia quiz. Cam, can you name every herb? Yeah, it's Blightroot, Mana Root, Silvershine, Freesia, Razorvine, Springleaf. That is in order as well. Gotcha.
Probably asking Cam is disingenuous because I think he's touched roots.
Man's root. Yeah, that's what they call me. Girls at school call me man's root. Nerd. Shut up. You shut up, Travis. I won't hear it. Nerd. Man's root. That's me. Can I change my name?
Yeah, we're changing the podcast to Man's Root.
Man's Root. I'll get on that. Make my unhinged name in Merlin's. Man's Root. So stupid.
I think I'm gonna make the thumbnail just say Lineage Break talks about Man's Root.
About Man's Root. I do really like the. What I want to do is like name the podcast normally. And then make the thumbnail so Lineage Break talks about aliens in the ocean.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm totally doing
but
it.
just like the title is not at all related. So
Correct.
People see the thumbnail, they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm totally doing it.
My favorite is still name the FTC Luxem cards. Illuminate secrets
and illuminate secrets.
Fractured Crown.
Oh, it is Fractured Crown. Ooh.
Is that it? Is that it? Is it just 2? What are we doing trivia? Trivia's so
Uther
base.
Luster.
Wait.
Uther.
Wait. He's making trivia quiz? Is this for holiday stream? Thoughts?
Don't have Cam on your team. He'll fuck you.
Hey, listen here. One time.
Hey, Cam, how many lines of text is
6! I'm a PR nightmare. You're just doing a trivia quiz for fun? I love trivia. Trivia is so fun. Let's do trivia. Poro, you want to be on the show? We'll do a nice little trivia contest with Poro. That's something that we can have you on the show where you won't get canceled for saying things that you're not supposed to. We'll just do Grand Archive trivia. Don't even have to ask you anything.
We'd have call-ins on Discord.
Ooh, true.
It sounds fun.
No. Our PR is ready to be ruined. That's what we're good at. Unless they're worried about you ruining their PR on our show. That's also reasonable. But, we can get you canceled. I'm trying to get Theo canceled, too. The edit is very creative. How I twist Theo's words to get him canceled. Lots of chopping things up. That's what I'm saying. That's why we only do trivia questions. And we treat you like a robot. You can only say the trivia question or the answer to the trivia question. We can get, hi, I'm Travis. Trivia question. All right. We're really leaving. Got to go eat. Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week to talk about the Lux Open. And, that. Christchurch. Anybody going to Christchurch? Any of you goons going to Christchurch? I guess Theo is. He said he has all the Gwendolyn's in his backpack.
Yeah.
So if you guys know where Theo is right now, go to his house and mug him.
You'll have 8 Gwendolyn's.
That's pretty good. All right. Bye, guys. Goodbye. All right, goodbye. Oh, God, I almost tripped. Ugh.